Spiritual Medium. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Well, I'm great. We rely on you a lot. We ever since we met you, this station, everyone here at the station, and you, we become fast friends, and we look out after each other. But you especially look out after us, and we're always grabbing you. Yesenia, what's going on? What do you see?
Right.
What's the energy like? What's happening? What we should tell you is Yesenia is having I think it's her first public event. It's a small event because in just the nature of this kind of thing, it has to be personal. It's at the Hyatt Regency. It's this Sunday, the 23rd at 5 p.m. If you want to get tickets, eventbrite.com is where you go. You can also go to healingheartshealingsouls.com, which is Yesenia's website, and you can go over to Eventbrite. Lots of stuff going to happen. She's got vendors going on, she's got drinks going on. It's going to be a party in addition to bringing out some of those spirits that you might have hovering over you in a very good way. Now, today we are streaming live on Facebook, so if you'd like to see this particular interview, and I encourage you to, because it becomes extremely fascinating very, very quickly. Go over to a KHTS radio on our Facebook page, and you'll see what's going on. Yesenia, you brought some people with you today.
I did. I brought some of my favorite peeps here.
Who's here?
So we have Rebecca and her son Daniel.
Hi.
Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
And why did they get? Why are they the chosen ones?
Because we're her favorites.
So I'll tell you why.
Okay.
10 years ago, we were talking about, sometimes we talk about skeptics, or if you're afraid, or if you're protecting your loved one, if they're going to come see a medium. We've all been through that. There's some mediums that are not as kosher, right? But Rebecca brought in her sister, Amy. Amy was on the radio with me on Wednesday with Aaron.
Oh, okay.
And so we talked about how Amy's daughter had been killed in a hit-and-run accident out of the state. And so that first day, 10 years ago, Rebecca and Amy walk into my room, and Rebecca is just, she was worried about her sister, and she was skeptical. And within maybe 15 minutes or so, we were like all talking, and things were coming up. So I wanted really Rebecca to be here for that, for just as that testimonial, because if you're afraid about coming on Sunday, don't be afraid about coming on Sunday. Let this be an experience. You're going to be comforted with a lot of family and friends that are there to protect you. And so then Daniel, I've known Daniel since he was a kid here 10 years ago.
I was like 12.
You're like 12,
when I first met you. Yeah.
And now Daniel's my photographer. He's been doing all of my graphic arts. He's going to be interviewing me on Sunday, and you'll also see him there in the hallways interviewing you. Please don't tell him anything about anyone you want to see. We just want to know how you're feeling and if you're nervous. And so he's going to be handling that and my photography while at the event.
That's exactly what happens. You meet people, and you immediately become friends with them. Like I just said at the station here, everybody knows you, everybody loves you, and another case in point.
Yes.
You were doing it on a professional level at first, and now you're friends, and these are very close friends of yours as well. It happens with you. You have an amazing personality that way. You're very endearing, and you're very trusting.
Thank you.
We trust you. Did I say that right? Yeah, we trust you to give us the lowdown. So can we get personal about why you're here?
I'm an open book, so ask me anything.
Well, because I know that there was some dark stuff that happened in your semi-recent past, so I wanted to make sure you were okay talking about it.
Yeah. Okay. So let me just put this straight. I want to say that the community of Valencia has been through a lot in the past couple of years. I want to say 2 to 3 years. I had a friend, his name was Brian Rodriguez. He passed away tragically. He was murdered by his boyfriend down by the Henry Mayo Hospital in that neighborhood over there. And Brian and I were very close throughout high school. And so with his passing, it was really hard. And I think I just threw myself back into my studies at college, and I don't think I really mourned the loss like I should have. And then fast forward 3 months later, one of my best friends from our group in high school, her name was Drew Byrne-Crant. She passed away tragically as well. We were very close throughout high school, and I used to drop her off at our house. about every day in junior year at Valencia High School, and I saw on the news one evening that she was that there was a shooting on her street and that they had locked down the entire neighborhood in Saugus. And I thought to myself, oh, maybe I should call her. And they're like, no, she's fine. She's fine. That can't be her.
What are the odds, right?
Yeah, what are the odds?
What are the odds?
Well, the odds...
We're not in our favor.
Yeah, yeah, we're not in our favor. So I woke up the next morning. It's like, oh, yeah, that was her. She's gone. So her father was a nice man, but everybody has problems. How those problems manifest in a family are different for everybody. So I just want to say that first is that he was a really nice man and he loved her very much, but he had murdered her brother, his wife, and himself within their house, and they found them a week later. And so after that happened, I think I just went over the edge. And I've never been depressed before. I'm very uplifting and everything, and my friends love me because I'm just so fun to be around. And so I would wake up in the morning just feeling like I'm not going to curse on radio, but like I just felt like I got beaten up so badly. Like all the energy was taken away from me and all I wanted was answers. And I thought, well, if there's anybody that I know that could help me with this. And I mean, help me not just by telling me like, oh, it's going to be okay. Or, oh, you should do this. This will make you feel better. When you're grieving a loss, nobody should be telling you how to make you feel better. They need to listen. But also, what's really nice is when people are authentic and real as Yesenia, they have answers. And this is an actual phenomenon that's happening. And it's always been there that people can contact to the other side. And my mom was not a believer in that at all until my cousin had passed away tragically in a hit-and-run car accident, which brought us to Yesenia many years ago. So I had to call up my friend again and be like, can you help me?
What exactly? These are incredibly tragic circumstances twice. Well, 3 times, starting with a cousin years ago, and then these two. The one story is very well known with your friend who was killed by the boyfriend. Very well known. We're doing stories on it, and very well known. And then this tragic shooting. What do you even say, first of all, because he's correct in saying no one can fix that. You have to do it on your own time. You have to do it at your pace. But people, in their defense, Daniel, people just want you to be better. They see that you're hurting, and they just,
of course.
We reach for anything to make you feel better. We're like, we can help you. We can get you food, because when someone dies or passes away, the first thing we do is give you food. Right?
Yeah.
And so we're trying, but this is the lady we need to turn to. Let me do a quick break, and then we're going to come right back. I just have to check traffic. We're going to come right back, and I want to hear, Yesenia, how you dealt with all of these tragedies, and Daniel, because obviously today he's in one piece standing telling us this story. So the outcome was very, very good. Hang tight, guys. Beep, 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 beep. Go. 8:18. Let's go right to the 14 freeway. Quick break here. It looks as though the 14 is looking so much better, but we do have a stop-and-go little thing happening into the 5 freeway. The 5 is congested into the 210 and the 405. Then it gets heavy, real heavy, bumper-to-bumper heavy, south of the 170. No new crashes to report, luckily enough, because we had our share this morning. It looks like the board is pretty much clear in our area. That's traffic on your hometown station, KHTS.
Traffic brought to you by the law firm of Owen Patterson Owen, helping Santa Clarita drivers recover from life-changing accidents for over 3 decades. Owen Patterson Owen, encouraging you to drive safely. Visit opolaw.com.
It is 8:19 on your hometown station, KHTS, and we are talking to Yesenia, and she brought in 2 of her former clients first, and now friends, almost family to her. And we just heard from Daniel, who had some tragic stuff go on in his life. Mom was a disbeliever. So so Mom, get close to the mic and tell me, what you just, you know.
Well, in the beginning, when I went with my sister to see Yesenia, my sister asked me to go. And
And now the sister her daughter was the one who tragically was killed in a hit and run.
correct, out of
Okay.
state.
Okay.
So my niece was killed in a hit and run out of state. My sister was devastated. She had been through so much already in her life. Lost her first husband, and then now her only daughter. And when she asked me to go with her, I felt very protective of her, and I just wanted to make sure she was going to be okay, and that because she was so vulnerable, I didn't want someone taking advantage of her. So I just felt like I had to be the protector.
Guardian,
so,
sure, absolutely.
So I went with her, and I asked a lot of questions before we even got started. I asked Yesenia a lot of questions, and I was I was open to hear what she had to say, but again, skeptical, guarded, and my sister was just wanting so desperately to get some kind of validation about her daughter and where she was and if she was okay and all of that. And Yesenia made a believer out of me because she was genuine, sincere, kind, caring, very loving, and she told us specific details about the accident that had not yet been published that no one knew but us. And I was stunned. And in hearing and in going through the whole session with her over an hour, maybe even 2 hours, at the end, I was completely drained. I cried a lot with my sister. She explained and told us so many things about what we already knew, but also reassured my sister that my niece, she was like a daughter to me too, but that she was going to be okay, and that my mom, who had passed away a year prior to that, was with her.
Was taking care of
Yeah,
her.
was taking care of her. So that was very reassuring to both of us.
It's very comforting.
Extremely. It gave my sister a lot of peace. My sister says that Yesenia saved her life, and I do believe that. My sister at the time, was extremely vulnerable and devastated. But this gave her hope. This gave her a lot of peace. And
Was there one individual, you said she had some specifics, which only you guys knew
Yes.
about the crash, right?
Yes.
Was there one in particular that you said, okay, that was that ding, 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 that was the one that just put you over the edge and made you a believer? That final one.
well, she told us it was a male driver driving a black truck, and that's exactly what it was. That's who. Yes, they never caught him, but she gave us a lot of other details. But that was the one that just I knew was true.
It was true.
Absolutely.
Now, getting back to Daniel. So Daniel comes, fast forward a few years,
Oh, yeah.
and Daniel has an extreme amount of tragedy going on in his life. So you say, let me, it worked for my aunt. We found out about my cousin. Let me hook up with Yesenia again and see what she can tell me. What were you able to do for Daniel, Yesenia?
So when Daniel came in, I obviously knew he was devastated. One, I feel very honored because they have faith in me. They trust me, so they know they can come to me at any time. I've always had that open door kind of, policy, right? That's just always just us.
Also, keep in mind that I hadn't seen Yesenia in years as well. It had probably been 4 or 5 years
Probably, yes.
since, because I had left to go to college.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so we had no contact like that. Like we weren't, on Facebook or anything like that. And he just reached out and said, I really need to see you. So when he came in to see me, immediately, the friend came through, and then you have to remember, Tori, I don't remember all the details of the readings, but at some point, I think your friend, the girl, all I remember, and this will always stay with me, is please don't hate my dad. He loved us. And I was thinking, okay. And then it just kind of like, I don't listen to the news, so I really don't know what's happening in our area. Maybe that's a bad thing, but maybe it's a good thing, because then a lot of what came through for him and the spirits that came through and this beautiful girl just says, this is what's happening with us. This is how it happened. And without feeling like they're lost.
Are they all together? Is the family together at
Yes.
this time?
Yes.
Yes.
And so they hold, does the wife and the other sibling, do they hold any ill will against the dad?
No, not at all.
So they're all together and
They're all together in heaven. He has been forgiven. He was very sad about everything and his actions. And you have to remember, my dad took his life. I mean, my dad lined us up so many times and was ready to take us all out. And for whatever reason, he just never did. And so when someone is mentally unstable, maybe going through a depression, that's an illness. That's an illness that we really need to start focusing more on. And a lot of people don't want to talk about it.
we're quick to label them evil, I think.
Absolutely.
Right.
And it's an illness like any other. And it gets very little attention, but mental health is extremely important to address and look at as an illness.
Because it can happen to the best of us.
Absolutely.
So-
Case in point.
Yes.
We only have a couple more minutes left, so I want to talk about quickly the second tragedy you had in your life. Do we have? Can you the friend who was the boyfriend murdered?
Yes.
Do we know why that happened? Did we ever get any answers from that?
I don't
And is he
remember
okay?
I don't remember the reading. I do know that the boy is fine. Okay, I do know that he's fine. He loves him very much. I believe from what I'm picking up right now is a lot of jealousy. No confidence in himself. So it's just a lot of jealousy. I don't remember the
Yeah.
reading. So do you remember
I
the reading?
remember the reading. He was about to leave to go study at San Diego, and me and all our friends believed that he was going to go break off things
Gotcha.
with this relationship before he had left. But after we found out that he had passed away right before the vigil, right before he, because there was, how do I explain this? Everyone went looking for him.
Right.
And we found his phone inside a trash can.
Right.
But during the search, like one night, a group of friends and I, but we didn't find out till the vigil that we all had the same dream that he was found in the closet, that his body was found in the closet, and that's where he
and
was
that
found.
was found.
Yeah.
That was there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And see,
it
and they all
was-
got the same message.
Yeah.
So it's evident that the spirits and the loved ones will come through and they will give you messages. They'll
And
tell you, come look for me here.
That's amazing. I knew this would be another fascinating segment.
Yes.
Unfortunately, sometimes it gets a little dark like this because we are
Yes.
dealing, sometimes it's tragedy, sometimes it's a natural death, but whatever, we deal with it, and Yesenia helps with those spirits. Thank you so much for sharing your stories. Daniel, I know how hard this was
Right.
for you.
Thank you.
To share that on the radio with you, and also your story about your niece, your cousin, and Yesenia. The event is coming up. It's going to be look. We got a little dark.
Yes.
Yes.
But the event is going to be a happy one. It's going to be a big party. Please get your tickets at eventbrite.com. Healing Souls, Healing Hearts, or Healing Hearts.
Healing Hearts, Healing Souls.
Hearts Before Souls. Hearts Before Souls .com. And I'm going to be there. So many people from the station are going to be there. It's going to be a big party. Bring the spirits with you, and she will tell you what you need to know. Yesenia, always a pleasure. And guys, thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much.
Take care.